As a parent, I think it's one of those situations that you never, ever imagine yourself being in, ever. When you have kids, you think you're going to have the perfect, healthy, normal baby and have a perfect, normal, healthy life. And it's not like that, but it's one of those situations where people will ask us on a daily basis how we do it. And my answer is always, how would I not do it? I compare it to, I know I probably said it before, but I compare it to being on a roller coaster ride that I didn't ask to get on. And there's a lot of ups and downs in it. And just when you're on a straightaway, you sort of crash into a brick wall, and then you got to pick up the pieces and get back on the ride. As normal as Jack looks, he faces a lot of challenges.
We realized that, his disease could, in a minute, change our whole lives.
In mitochondrial disease, there's no real treatments and there's no cures, but the main supplement that we use is something called a Mito cocktail, and in that we get a medication compounded out of Acton Pharmacy, and they compound together, I think it's 5 or 6 different vitamins, and they're all vitamins and supplements that his body produces, but they're just added to kind of help him with energy levels. And I like to use the analogy, if we ever buy the kids McDonald's Happy Meals, his brother will have his Happy Meal done in about 5 minutes flat, and it'll take Jack about a half hour to eat the corner of one McNugget. So that's about what he eats. It's like a party if he eats a whole piece of cheese. We have to be very proactive in Jack's care, and it's little things like keeping him healthy and letting him rest when he needs to rest. And I always try to stay ahead of him, and by that I mean we wash hands like crazy. We avoid crowded places where there could be sicknesses. We stay in a lot in the winter because of sickness, and we stay in a lot in the summer because of the heat. He does a modified school schedule where he's supposed to go 2.5 days of school a week, and he goes all half days. And he even sometimes has to do less than a half day if the nurse feels like he's too tired. So we really just have to conserve energy and let him rest. He has physical therapy once a week because he has the low muscle tone along with the disease, as well as his energy, and he gets fatigued pretty easily, and then his muscle tone gets even worse. So he has physical therapy once a week for a half hour where he works his muscles and try to get them stronger. And it's one of those things where when people see him on a day-to-day basis, they think he looks relatively normal. But then once you get him in with other kids his age, you can see that he does struggle a little bit with things with his muscles. So it definitely helps to make him stronger and get his energy level up a little bit more. If you go to the grocery store with Jack, he makes it about 3 aisles in, and then he wants to just sit down because he's all done and he's exhausted. And it's gotten to the point about 1.5 years ago where I couldn't carry him anymore because he's not only is he low muscle tone, but when you pick him up, he's like carrying a sack of potatoes. So our physical therapist had recommended an adaptive stroller. And we had an umbrella stroller, which is really for a toddler, and he was sitting in that, and it was just far too small for him. So we went and had this adaptive stroller made, and it was probably one of the hardest days of my life because I brought both kids up to the hospital, and I was thinking stroller, and they whipped out this thing, and it looked like a wheelchair. And it was really hard because it screamed to me that something's wrong with my child. And it was visual. People could see it now, and so then we ordered it, we had it made, and the very nice fellow came and dropped it off and put it all together for us. And my attitude started to change the minute Jack saw it and said, "My new stroller, can I get in it and can we go for a walk?" They say that 1 in 4,000 children in the United States is born with mitochondrial disease, which is a similar statistic as children born with cystic fibrosis.
Don't be so quick to judge. I think one of the biggest issues that we face as parents is feeling like we're constantly being criticized by other parents and people about how we're parenting our kids. Don't be so quick to judge people, I guess is what I would say, because you don't know if somebody is really sick or what kind of situation people have been through.